Hello guys, James here. Today we're going to be talking about this Pines by Blake Crouch, the first in the Wayward Pines trilogy. Wayward Pines follows the story of CIA, FBI, no, Secret Service agent Ethan Burke as he investigates the disappearance of two agents in the mysterious town of Wayward Pines. He is immediately cut off from all support, loses his memory, and has to stroll about for most of the book in the nude. It's a bizarre read, but it's kind of entertaining. I'm going to put it down now. You've seen the cover, you know what it looks like. So let's talk about it. First of all, starting with the setup premise. Because for once, there's a little story behind this. Some people out there, me included, may be familiar with a little TV show from the 1990s called Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. This series followed a FBI agent called someone... It followed FBI agent Dale Cooper as he investigated the town of Twin Peaks following the murder of high school student Laura Palmer. The show was incredibly popular at the time during its first season and then went downhill in the second season before being cancelled unceremoniously and then being revived in 2017 for a return season, which was very different. The show followed like all these quirky little small town characters with intricate different subplots, and obviously Cooper himself was a character that warmed the hearts of the nation because he was a very strange man. He had lots of eccentricities. Why do I bring all this up? Well, Pines by Blake Crouch is literally Twin Peaks fan fiction. I don't say that to be derisive of his work, but you know, it's pretty damning when the final part of your book is literally an afterword by the author explaining about how his book is Twin Peaks fan fiction, and how that's where he got his start. So it's all in there. It's obvious. But the reason I bring this up as part of a review is because that fan fiction-y feel permeates a lot of the novel and really took me out of it in a lot of ways because it had me rolling my eyes quite a lot. There are certain elements of Dale Cooper's character from Twin Peaks that are exhibited by Ethan Burke's character in the first part of this book as a wink and a nod, as a reference to Twin Peaks. But the book itself isn't really that much like Twin Peaks in terms of its plot, so adding these weird references in as a nod to the source material is like, okay, why though? Because like, this isn't Cooper, so the fact that he's going around talking about damn fine coffee is just a distraction. It just makes me think, what is this? What is it trying to do? And that leads me on to talking about really the novel itself, which maybe is probably deserving of its own little spotlight. So the characters that Blake Crouch presents to us are not that well fleshed out, in my opinion. The main character is just a dickhead. Like, he takes all the eccentricities of Coop from Twin Peaks, but he doesn't present them in a charming and likable way. He's just sort of this brash, obnoxious piece of shit who walks around town going, I'm in the Secret Service, mate. Give me everything for free. And the people are like, no, who are you? You don't have any ID. You've got nothing. So he's kind of weird. He doesn't really grow as a character throughout the novel. You know, things sort of happen to him and he escapes, and that's really like the structure of the novel. I've seen other reviews of this that say it's relentlessly paced, but that is not really a good thing. when you're doing a mystery. So basically, a lot of the time, it boils down to Burke discovers something and then has to escape from something, and then he discovers something else like immediately afterwards, and it's like it basically is that formula from start to end. And as a result of that, the pacing is too fast. It doesn't let you digest anything. It doesn't really let you build a sense of dread and gloom about the town. Like, what made Twin Peaks so good is that it really let you sink into these small town shenanigans before sort of peeling away the layers. But what Pines does is it sort of it pays lip service to developing this town and the characters, and then it just sort of has them go off the rails like immediately with no explanation behind it. There are parts, especially like about halfway through, where things just take a bizarre turn, and yeah, like I don't want to get into it because this is non-spoilers, but it goes just off the rails too fast. So the pacing is an issue, and because the pacing is an issue, the characters are an issue. Like, a lot of them are just stereotypes or retreads from Twin Peaks characters. Like, there's the receptionist at the police station who is literally called Mrs. Moran, just like in Twin Peaks, who has dialogue that could just have been out of Twin Peaks. And it's like, you know, this is the problem I have when it comes to something that is so sort of unreservedly fanficky, is that it just relies too hard on previous knowledge of the source material that it's being a fanfiction of to really present its point. And it hurts the work as an original piece. And the original stuff that's there isn't that strong. There's a lot of twists that separate it from what it's trying to be, but then at the same time kind of hinders it going forward as a series. I'm very interested to see how they plan to, how do they plan to reconcile what happened at the end of this book with things going back to a state of normalcy in the next one, because this is a trilogy, right? But things in the town go so escalating to the point of crisis and like full on boiling over mentalness that to pull it back now is going to be like a Herculean feat of suspension of disbelief, as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be interesting if and when I finally get round to the next one. But yeah, that's my thoughts really on Pines by Blake Crouch. So let me know if you've read this one, what you thought. Am I just being unfair because I really like Twin Peaks and I really didn't like this? Or am I kind of on the nose? And tell me if you've read the others as well. And tell me if it does manage to pull itself back to a baseline state where things make sense again. So that's it from me and for this review. Thanks for being patient with me whilst I've been a ghost. And thanks for 600 subscribers, by the way. That just sort of happened, crept over there. We'll see if the algorithm and the fact that I now upload this video causes me to lose 8 subs and fall under 600, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Thanks guys for sticking around. That was my review of Pines, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.